Judge Vanessa Reynolds, a respected black jurist, found herself in an unexpected situation when a white police officer pulled her over. The officer, mistakenly assuming she had stolen the vehicle she was driving, confronted her with unfounded accusations. Reynolds had overcome numerous obstacles on her path to success. Raised in a predominantly black working-class neighborhood, she faced and conquered many challenges throughout her life. Through unwavering determination and countless hours of hard work, she ascended to become one of the state's youngest judges. Her reputation for fairness, integrity, and steadfast dedication to justice was well known. Reynolds's position on the bench stood as a testament to her perseverance and strength of character. She carried her title with a sense of dignity and responsibility, recognizing its significance not just for herself, but for her community as well. Judge Vanessa Reynolds navigated her black Mercedes through an affluent neighborhood on a brisk autumn morning, her thoughts focused on the day's upcoming cases. One particular case involving alleged police misconduct weighed heavily on her mind, given its media attention and personal significance. As a black woman who had risen through the ranks of the justice system, Vanessa was acutely aware of the challenges posed by systemic racism. Her contemplation was interrupted by flashing lights in her rearview mirror. Puzzled as she hadn't violated any traffic laws, Vanessa pulled over. Officer James Lawson, a white veteran of the force known for his strict approach, approached her vehicle. His hand rested near his holster as he reached her window. "License and registration," Lawson stated firmly. Vanessa complied silently, maintaining her composure despite her growing irritation. Lawson scrutinized her documents, his expression growing increasingly skeptical. "Is this your vehicle?" he questioned, his tone laced with doubt. "Yes, it is," Vanessa replied evenly, drawing from past experiences of unwarranted scrutiny. Lawson pressed further, "What's your business in this area?" Keeping her frustration in check, Vanessa responded, "I'm en route to the courthouse. I'm presiding over a case this morning." Disbelief evident in his voice, Lawson challenged, "You're telling me you're a judge?" Vanessa, her heart racing but her exterior calm, offered, "My courthouse identification is in my bag if you require additional verification." "Step out of the vehicle," Lawson commanded, disregarding Vanessa's offer to show her identification. Vanessa paused, weighing her options. Despite knowing her rights and her innocence, she recognized that resistance could worsen the situation. She carefully exited the car, keeping her hands visible. Without seeking permission, Lawson began searching her vehicle. He carelessly scattered her meticulously organized files across the passenger seat. Vanessa observed, her frustration mounting as she witnessed her belongings being treated so dismissively. "Is this search truly necessary, officer?" Vanessa inquired, her tone composed yet assertive. Lawson continued his search without acknowledging her question, extending his inspection to the trunk. Finding nothing incriminating, he faced her with a self-satisfied expression. "We're going to the station to clarify the situation," he declared. Indignation surged through Vanessa. Despite her cooperation, she was being treated unjustly. Striving to maintain her composure, she responded, "This is unacceptable. There's no valid reason for detaining me. I've committed no offense." Lawson dismissed her protest with a shrug, seemingly relishing his authority. "We'll determine that at the station." As Lawson moved to radio for backup, Vanessa made a swift decision. She retrieved her phone and placed a brief call, her gaze fixed on Lawson throughout. "What do you expect that to accomplish?" Lawson scoffed. Vanessa remained silent, standing tall and maintaining her dignity despite the humiliating circumstances. She was resolved to see this unjust situation through to its conclusion. Minutes later, an unmarked vehicle arrived at the scene. A man in professional attire emerged and approached Vanessa, his expression grave. "Judge Reynolds," the newcomer addressed her respectfully. "Is everything in order here?" Lawson, visibly perplexed, questioned the man's identity. The man presented his credentials. "I'm Assistant District Attorney Michael Turner. Judge Reynolds is a valued colleague. What seems to be the issue, officer?" Realization dawned on Lawson's face as the gravity of his error became apparent. I was unaware of her identity," he fumbled for words. Turner's demeanor hardened. Does that justify your actions? Conducting an unauthorized search, detaining her without cause, and intending to take her to the station? Consider your next move carefully, officer. Lawson's earlier assurance crumbled as he grasped the severity of his misstep. Muttering apologies, he returned Vanessa's documents with a shaky hand. "My apologies, Judge Reynolds," he mumbled, averting his gaze. Vanessa reclaimed her documents, her expression impassive. "Expect to hear from my office, Officer Lawson," she stated calmly before acknowledging Turner. "Thank you, Michael." Turner nodded as Lawson retreated to his patrol car. Vanessa returned to her Mercedes, her hands slightly unsteady as she started the engine and drove away, her mind a whirlwind of emotions, anger, frustration, and a profound sense of injustice. Upon reaching the courthouse, Vanessa proceeded directly to her chambers. She closed the door and settled at her desk, attempting to process the recent events. While she had encountered discrimination before, this incident felt more acute. As a judge dedicated to upholding the law, she had been treated as if she were a criminal. Vanessa recognized that this incident transcended her personal experience. It represented the countless others who faced similar treatment without the means or platform to challenge it. She felt a responsibility to leverage her position to effect change, to prevent such incidents from recurring. She contacted her assistant. "Please arrange a meeting with the chief of police," she instructed, "and obtain the contact information for Officer Lawson's superior. We need to address this matter promptly." Despite focusing on her caseload, Vanessa's thoughts continually returned to her encounter with Lawson. Recognizing her position of authority, she resolved to address the issue head-on. The following day, Vanessa met with Police Chief Margaret Davis, a woman known for her direct approach. Davis listened attentively as Vanessa detailed the previous day's events, her expression growing increasingly grave. "This behavior is utterly unacceptable," Davis stated firmly. "I'll personally oversee the investigation into Officer Lawson's conduct. You have my assurance, Judge Reynolds, that this matter will be handled promptly and thoroughly." Vanessa acknowledged Davis's commitment. "I appreciate that, Chief. While I understand this is a systemic issue, my goal isn't solely to reprimand one officer. I aim to collaborate with you to prevent such incidents from recurring." Chief Davis regarded Vanessa with respect. "I concur. Let's use this incident as a catalyst for meaningful change." In the ensuing weeks, Vanessa and Chief Davis worked in close cooperation. They initiated comprehensive training programs for the police department, emphasizing bias awareness, cultural sensitivity, and proper traffic stop procedures. Officer Lawson was placed on administrative leave pending investigation, with Vanessa kept informed throughout the process. Vanessa's efforts extended beyond this single incident. Recognizing that true reform required addressing systemic issues, she began advocating for broader changes within the justice system. She spoke at community forums, engaged with lawmakers, and championed legislation to hold law enforcement accountable for discriminatory practices. The police misconduct case she had been concerned about on the day of her stop took on new significance. Vanessa presided over it with renewed determination, ensuring justice was served and the officers involved were held accountable. The case attracted national attention, and Vanessa emerged as a symbol in the fight for equality within the justice system. The investigation into Officer Lawson revealed a history of similar behavior. His eventual dismissal from the force was met with mixed reactions. While Vanessa recognized this as only a small victory in a larger struggle, she saw it as a step towards positive change. Months after the incident, Vanessa was reviewing case files in her chambers when she received an unexpected letter from Officer Lawson. She opened it with some hesitation, revealing a neatly handwritten note. "Dear Judge Reynolds, I'm unsure if this will reach you, but I felt compelled to write. These past months have led me to deeply reflect on our encounter and my career choices. I now recognize my errors, not just in how I treated you, but in my overall approach to law enforcement. Despite my decade-long career, I've come to realize that my actions often caused more harm than good. I allowed my biases to cloud my judgment and acted out of arrogance rather than duty. While I can't undo my past mistakes, I want you to know I'm committed to change. Losing my job was the wake-up call I needed. I've begun volunteering at a youth center, working with at-risk individuals who've had negative experiences with law enforcement. It's been a humbling experience, helping me understand the impact of my actions and those of my colleagues. I'm not seeking forgiveness, as I understand the gravity of my actions. However, I wanted you to know that I'm striving to improve. Your composure and courage during our encounter made me realize I was on the wrong path, and for that, I'm grateful. Sincerely, James Lawson. Vanessa leaned back, contemplating the unexpected missive. Lawson's apology, though late, seemed sincere. His struggle with the consequences of his actions was evident, and while she was uncertain how to fully process it, she appreciated his acknowledgement of his mistakes. She reflected on the numerous individuals who had faced similar mistreatment without the means to fight back. While she knew systemic change would take time, Lawson's realization offered a glimmer of hope. After carefully folding the letter and placing it in her desk, Vanessa turned her focus back to her work. She had cases to oversee, reforms to advocate for, and a justice system to help reshape. That evening, driving home, Vanessa contemplated her journey. Despite the challenges she had faced, she knew she was on the right path. She had fought hard for her position and was determined to use her influence to make a difference. The road ahead might be long, but Vanessa was ready to face it, armed with her experiences and unwavering commitment to justice. Arriving home, Vanessa experienced a sense of calm. The incident that had unfolded months ago had initiated a series of events that she hoped would lead to substantial reform. While she couldn't dictate others' actions, she could control her response, drawing strength from this realization. The following morning, Vanessa returned to the courthouse with renewed resolve. She was prepared for the challenges that lay ahead, recognizing that her role as a judge extended beyond mere arbitration to being a true guardian of justice. She was committed to transforming the system she served into one that upheld fairness and respect for all individuals. As she assumed her position on the bench, gavel in hand, Vanessa felt a profound sense of purpose. She knew she was exactly where she needed to be, poised to continue her fight for justice that had been long denied to many. With each case and every ruling, she would reinforce her stance. Discrimination had no place in her courtroom, nor in the society she was striving to shape. Her experiences had not only strengthened her resolve but also deepened her understanding of the systemic issues at play. Vanessa was determined to use her position to effect change, not just through her rulings, but also through her advocacy for reform and her mentorship of young legal professionals. As she called her first case of the day, Vanessa felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She knew that change was a gradual process, but every fair judgment, every stand against discrimination was a step towards the just world she envisioned. Her journey had brought her here, and she was prepared to continue moving forward, one case at a time. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this story. Have you ever witnessed or experienced a situation similar to the one described? Please share your perspective in the comment section below. Thank you for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.